Hi everybody and welcome back to Let's Play Sonic Frontiers. So last time out we started off the 4th island, which is pretty short. It's just basically a bunch of 6 platforming challenges, and I think we did 4 of them. So we've got another 2 to go through. So yeah. As we saw last part, basically with every tower that you switch off, you get to see more of what happened with these guys and how they came to be. And so this is kind of explaining what the Titans' original use was, that basically the emeralds power them up, and the Titans were supposed to be weapons that they created to fight off this threat, which ended up destroying their world. Oh, sorry, we've got one more tower to go through. Yeah, this is me like, okay, which one do I go to next? And I was like, it's that one. Alright, let's jump. That was kind of dumb. Why did I do that? Might as well just gone on the actual thing rather than jump off the side just to go on it again. But anyway, one last tower to go through. This one I remember gave me the most trouble, from what I remember. But yeah, I kind of like... Again, I do kind of like the fact of how they went about this. Oh yeah, this one was a pain in the ass. But I like that we get information on these guys, and well, shit. That we get information on them and we find out like what the point of all this stuff was, like why the Titans are. Fuck. Like why the Titans are a thing and that kind of thing and that kind of stuff. It's good, but I would have liked it if they had like dropped little hints throughout each of the islands. Sorry. My apologies. I would have liked if they dropped little hints like throughout the islands as you were going through the game, rather than just basically dumping, doing a massive like info dump for the 4th island. But it is kind of, it's still, you know, it's not the end of the world. It's just one of those things where I'm like, son of a bitch. Let's get straight back up. There we go. But I just, you know, I'm just saying that I think it would have been more interesting if, you know, I think it would have been better. It would have felt less like a... I hate this place. It would have... This part's so annoying. It would have just felt better and I think more cohesive and less of like just a giant plot dump in the middle of the game. If they'd spaced out this information a bit more, but it's a minor quibble, I suppose. Oh god, yeah. Yeah, this island is this tower rather is son of a bitch. Please allow me to die. Thank you. But yeah, it's such a... Yeah, this tower is such a pain in the ass. It took me... Oh god. I think it took me a good 15 to 20 minutes to get past this one, just because it's so much harder than the rest of them. Like, the level of platforming that you have to do is... What am I doing? You know, the level of platforming is... Oh, God. It's so much harder than what you've had to do up to this point. Probably in the whole game. It is really satisfying, though, when you pull it off, like, you know... When you do a pretty much flawless kind of run, which, you know, I'm not likely to do because I suck. But when you do like a flawless run, it's so It feels so good. Oop, there we go. And when we're approaching the top, we're getting close now, I think. God, I was being brave there. Yeah, run up. And boom, baby. We're done. Time to open up and time to shut down the final tower. Time for the information. Time for the last bit of an information kind of dump. Yeah, that's the final Titan that we have to take on. It's kind of interesting that how they all kind of fought together. So yeah, basically they all used the Titans to kind of fight against this evil. But apparently it wasn't enough. And yeah, basically I think it's what basically happens is that with basically all of the Titans kind of fought against this thing. That they don't actually show it here. I think you only see it when you go into the actual final boss of Island 5. But basically all of these get kind of taken over by this evil force. Sorry. So they get taken over by this evil force, and they basically stop it by basically sealing the Titans away, so that basically the thing's just trapped inside them. The thing's just trapped inside all these Titans with like nowhere to go. And the towers are basically a way of kind of sealing this guy completely away without and yeah, I think that's pretty much what the 6 towers are for. They're basically to seal this creature, this kind of force, evil force away for good. So yeah, kind of interesting in that regard. But yeah, Sonic is taking in way too much of the energy. He's actually freed everyone. He's freed Eggman and all his friends. Tails, Knuckles, and Amy. But the energy is corrupted, fully corrupted him, which means that he's basically stuck between realities. So it's kind of his physical form is here, and his like mental form is kind of trapped in the cyberspace world. It's kind of dark, this ending.
Cyberspace immediately.
I just got out. That was the whole point.
I just got out. I like that reading from Eggman there. It's pretty funny.
What gets out?
Yep. So basically, yeah. Basically, Sonic was doing this thing to try and freeze all of his friends, and when he does this, in order to free them, basically he's broken the locks that was stealing this ancient evil away. And so, yeah, guess what? It's free, and Sonic's fucking dead. Or, you know, trapped in between dimensions at the least. So everything's in trouble.
No. Sonic worked too hard for us to give up now. Those visions we saw, we can drive back the corruption and bring him back. Anything for Sonic.
Yep. So pretty much that's what we're going to be doing. This part, I will say, is a little bit hokey. It's basically power of friendship, and then basically,
Hero I become.
you know,
Sonic,
going back into the cyberspace world in order for Sonic to basically come back and kick ass. So yeah, they pretty much decide to sacrifice themselves and put themselves back into the cyberspace world in order for Sonic to be uncorrupted and to come back.
Thank you. I won't let you down.
So yeah, we've got one last island to go through.
Oh, good.
So yeah.
He's back.
Oh, Eggman's so good. He's not in a lot. He doesn't have a lot of dialogue in this game, but
Still don't want
he
to.
it fucking hits. He's really good. It's actually kind of interesting what they do with him here. I love it. I love this shit-eating grin from Sonic.
Hereby induct you into the Eggman Empire in order to save us all. Understand? This is not an alliance.
If that's how you want to spin it.
Sundari Eggman.
Man.
That's actually a pretty good line. I like that as well.
We find the Chaos Emeralds. Sonic won't be fast enough.
Hey, wow.
as you command.
Like I say, the interplay between them is really fucking good when it happens. It just doesn't happen a lot. Yeah, and Sage is on board now to help us out. So yeah, I do actually yeah, Eggman's really good in this game. He just doesn't, he isn't there a lot. And they do some interesting things with him, which I think they get, if they're continuing with this kind of the Sonic Frontiers kind of plot line, as it were, like this with this continuity, then I think they're gonna have to do something. You know, I don't think they can just have Eggman as the villain anymore. I think they have to do something a bit more interesting with him after this game, when he has all this, you know, character development with Sage and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, I think I really want them to do something else with him, because he's just a funny character. He's just a great character, and we need to see some more stuff where he's just not the stereotypical kind of, if you like, the Bowser of you know, Sonic's continuity. You can do something more interesting with him. I mean, Mario has done interesting stuff with Bowser with the RPGs and stuff, so I don't see why they can't. Anyway, we're on Island 5, so yeah, pretty much more of the same. So, one thing I would very much recommend in this one is... Motherfucker, I almost died. One thing I would recommend is that the number of tokens that you need, which by the way, they're hearts again. I guess they couldn't think of a you know, a new friendship token icon for Sage. Wow, I was really sucking at this moment in time. But anyway, one thing I would recommend is, because the amount of tokens you need to get for this island are fucking insane. They're ridiculous. Yep, there we are. They're hearts. But yeah, man. Oh my god, the memory tokens in this one are... You need so goddamn many. So honestly, what I'd recommend is, instead of trying to collect them by going through the world, open up the... or find the fishing portal as soon as you can, and just keep going back in over and over again to you know, just max out on tokens, because, you know, otherwise you're going to be playing for hours. Like, I think this island took me the longest. It took me like a couple of... in my first playthrough, it took me like a couple of hours, and it's, you know, it's not fun. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love this game, but it's you know, it becomes the thing where you're just like, I just want to get going. I just want to complete the game at this point. We're on the last island. So, yeah. That's one thing I would recommend with this section. With this particular island. We also showed... earlier on we showed... Oh, shit. That didn't go well. The other thing that we showed... For some reason your momentum gets stalled. I don't understand how that works. But anyway. So... We saw with the last thing that I did... Shit. I missed. There you go. Go around. Thank you. Yeah, this enemy is kind of a pain. I'll be honest. Jump over him. There you go. Because now you've got to homing attack these, hit that, and boom. And that'll knock it down. And then he'll try and run away and shoot like energy balls out the back of him. Ah, shit. So what? You just basically have to just keep smacking on him. Smacking on the back, and it's this is the enemy, I think, which, you know, where you obviously need to up your power, up your attack power when you come to this guy, because damn, he's tanky. But anyway, it's time to enter our first cyberspace level. But first, my first playthrough, this is the most annoying fucking enemy. Because for a long time I didn't know what you had to do. But all you have to do is hold your block button. Hold the block buttons until all of them are dead, and then just home and attack them. And that's really it. And if you don't kill them all, just do that, and then it's just rinse and repeat. But yeah, the first playthrough, I just did not know how to kill these fucking things. I just could not work it out, and then I looked it up online, and it was like, oh, well, that's kind of fucking obvious. Oh well, what can you do, eh? Let's grab some other stuff. And cyberspace level number 1, baby. I think on the 5th island, all of the cyberspace levels have unique kind of architecture, or at the very least, they instead of taking like just level layouts from particular games, they kind of mishmash them all together. So you have like, so that the final ones end up feeling a bit more unique, even if they don't look that much more unique. So yeah, that's pretty much there we go. Get there in the end. Gone too far. Go on top. Get it. Thank God they come back. There we go. So yeah, these ones end up feeling a bit more unique. This one I remember I had problems. As you can see, I had problems less so with collecting the red rings, even though I think I had to do this. I had to go through a couple of times to get all the red rings. My biggest problem, or the thing I had the most trouble with, was getting enough rings by the end of the stage. It took me a good, I want to say, sorry, there you go. Took me a good 3 or 4 attempts before I got this one right, in terms of getting all the rings and stuff like that. There we go. But yeah, the red rings for this stage aren't too bad. They're pretty much along the way for the most part. I think it's like either the last one or the second to last one. Move! Use your fucking boost. Why am I stopping? Tom. Boost, bitch. I don't know what am I doing. Anyway. Yeah, the camera here is a bit shitty. The camera here is very shitty. So yeah. That's where you want to go first. Make sure you don't skip, or you'll be skipping the second to last red ring. That one took me a few tries, but I got there in the end. And boom. Get it. Thank you. Yeah, and just for some reason they decided to throw in the skateboard for Sonic Generations for that last bit. I don't know why. Oh, to be fair, there was one. I think there was at least one stage earlier which had more. Yeah, you need 120 rings. Problem is that it's quite easy to die quite near the end of the stage, so that's why it took me so long to basically get the necessary amount of rings. Like I say, 3 or 4 attempts. But hey, I got it in the end. And we got 3 vault keys. Nice. Is that going to open up the first one? Yep. First Chaos Emerald is now open. So, yeah. I know after this recording session that these parts are a part of. This part is a part of. I knew that I opened up the what's it's called? Sorry, my brain's not working. I found where the fishing area was, and so I basically just went off and grinded immediately after this. Okay, so these guys are a bit more interesting this time. Yeah, and I died. These guys are a bit more improved, actually. They're actually quite difficult to kill, and they've got a lot of basically they're very resilient, and they have pretty much all of every single attack from the previous versions of those. So they can do like they can hide themselves away, they can do the spikes, and they can also attack you. Kind of similar in the way that you know those Shinobi kind of villains that we saw, that kind of swing their arms at you. They kind of attack you in a similar motion. So yeah, they're kind of difficult. But anyway, that is it for this part. We've got the Blue Chaos Emerald. Join me next time for the next part, when we're going to be doing more exploration. We've got to open up more of the map, and we've got to keep getting more keys, vault keys, to get more Chaos Emeralds, as well as collecting a fuck ton of Sage's memory tokens. So yeah, see you next time.